Hey there guys, welcome to the next tutorial here on the Duct Tape Stuff channel. It's been a long time since I made a decoration tutorial, so I decided to crank one out for this video here. We're going to be discussing using the actual duct tape patterns to decorate. And I think it's something that not a lot of people traditionally do because, they're so caught up in just, using the actual patterns here for like a backdrop. But we're actually going to cut into those patterns and actually use different pieces of it to make like a mosaic. And that's what we're going to be doing for this video. So down here I have this piece which is just going to simulate part of a wallet, and then we're going to start decorating it using different pieces of these tapes here. So let's get started here. Alright, so we're going to start off with the checker tape here, and the checker tape is really cool because it's basically just made up a whole bunch of little squares, and you can use these to decorate in a lot of different ways. I've already done a little bit of cutting here, so it should peel up fairly easily. And I'm going to utilize this checker pattern to make something along the lines of this, and if you cut it out perfectly, that's what it'll look like. And then you can stick these pieces over in different places here. And obviously if I want to make a one with the white in the center here, I can just trace around this piece here. Now this is just one of the designs I'm going to show you, and the checker has a lot of different patterns in it that you can do. You can also cut on diagonals across the squares as well and come up with a few other cool designs that way. So that should be all the sides for this. So let's try to peel this up here and then stick it over here next to the other one. So that's something that you can do with the checker tape. Next one I'm going to look at is the Union Jack tape, and just for information purposes, you can find this only on the Duct brand official store if you guys are trying to pick it up. But this pattern has a whole bunch of Union Jack flags on it, and you can definitely use these to your advantage if you want to decorate some pretty cool ways. So I'm going to cut out this giant piece here, which is essentially a giant flag on an angle, and I'm going to cut that out and say let's stick that right about there. Pretty cool on there. I can also cut out this one right here, which I'm going to do. And this pattern is really cool because, like I said, it's just a whole bunch of Union Jack flags stuck in various angles, so it gives you a lot to work with. So I'll stick that one probably right about there and peel it back around. So that's just a few things you can do with the Union Jack tape. The next two we're going to look at are the cupcake and the multicolor polka dot here. I think the cupcake and this polka dot over here is pretty straightforward as to what you can do with the different designs, but I'll just give you a brief idea here. I'm going to cut out one of the cupcakes and use that image, and then I'm actually going to cut out kind of a swirl pattern for this multi polka dot over here. So I'm going to stick that, say, right about there on the mosaic here. For these, you can actually go back and forth if you want to, kind of weave in between the polka dots. So make one about there, and then I'll weave in between the black part again, and then peel this piece up. So now you have something like that. Kind of looks like a traffic light or something like that. So I'll put that there. And I can also utilize the other pieces that come with it as well. And you can come up with a lot of different cool ways of doing this just by looking at some of the pieces that you have left over as well. So it's pretty cool. And last but certainly not least, we have the skull from the skull tape here, and we'll stick that right about there. Some of the patterns can be fairly difficult because if they have a lot of background color and if the image that you're trying to cut out is very small, you're going to have to use a fairly sharp hobby knife and just go very carefully around the entire image to kind of just capture the entire thing. Some of them are a little easier than others because here you have, for example, a white border in between the images, so you can just cut anywhere along that and you won't get any of the other images spilling onto it. But if you have something like this where it's all just, goes right from one color to the next, it might be a little more difficult. You're going to have to spend a little more time doing that. So now I'm going to spend the rest of this video just kind of giving you guys an idea of some of the other tapes that Duct brand has come out with that you can do this process with. And for this, I'm going to call upon the help of my handy dandy color palette here to show you some of the other designs you can do. One of them is Baroque. Baroque is one of the most difficult because it has a lot of little curves in it. And if you're trying to cut out, like for example, this design on the Baroque pattern, it's going to take a lot of little cutting and time to cut all that whole thing out. For the rock tape, if you do have some, you can cut out all the different rock lyrics on it or just words, and use those. If you have the flame, you can do that. You can cut out the individual peace signs. You can cut out different swirls and different pieces out of the zebra. The houndstooth is another great one you can do that. So just for example, there are a lot of different patterns that you can cut out individual images of the duct tape and use them in making whatever you want to, like the Super Mario and stuff like that. And it can really kind of create like a mosaic or some sort of theme on your wallets or whatever you're making out of duct tape. So that pretty much wraps up this video on using the actual duct tape patterns or parts of them to decorate in various duct tape designs. Just give it a try, guys. I mean, I'm sure some of you are shaking your head and you say, it's pretty simple. I don't really want to do it, but there's a lot of cool patterns and designs that you can get just by cutting out different segments of tapes that Duct brand has made. So definitely give it a try, and I'll catch you guys next time on the channel. There's another video coming tomorrow announcing 6 new tapes from Duct brand, and I'll see you tomorrow for that. So I'll catch you next time. Hope you liked the video.